Here's just another shot looking almost directly south from my cabin building site across at the valley. And as we go down the hill, you can kind of see that there is a saddle just south of that mountain or that hill there. And that's real pretty to look at. Of course, in the winter, there's a lot of snow up here, and it takes on a completely different kind of appearance. And I should say also, because of the variety of forest trees here, that in the fall it's particularly beautiful as well. And there you can kind of see the saddle just to the right a little bit. If we move a little bit again, you'll get to see a little bit more of it. Okay, I'll get into position. You can kind of see the saddle. And with the snow on the trees, it's really a winter wonderland here. Beautiful, beautiful place. Now, if you don't mind, I'm just going to go ahead and walk back to camp, back to where my container is, and take you along with me. It'll be kind of a bumpy ride because I'm not a very good cameraman, but I'm hoping you'll get a sense of things. That's that blue tarp there is covering up my little trailer. And here again is looking across at the saddle, and another view of the building site. And you can see how Tony, my heavy equipment operator, great guy, cut the mountain out a little bit and changed it just so there'd be a little flat saddle, a little flat terrace here. Be a great place for a cabin. And down here where the trailer is, I'm hoping will be a parking lot. Have your vehicle down here, and then when you're up by the cabin, you don't have to have the car right in front of you. After all, you come up here for the natural beauty of things, not to look at a car parked in front of your cabin. Here you can see the sun. It's already dark. It's getting darker. And you can look off into the trees. And it's always kind of interesting because you never know who's looking at you. This Okanagan Highlands here is reported to have one of the highest numbers of cougars, mountain lion, of anywhere in the lower 48. And there are many black bear here as well. And so one always has to be careful and pay attention so that you don't get into trouble. But it also makes it a very beautiful place. We'll take a look across the valley again. See how beautiful that is? Looking from our shaded position, it's kind of hard to see. Here's another tree that Tony took out for me that'll, when I get around to it, make good firewood. Especially in the winter when it's cold. Now we're just going to walk down this. It's just a dirt road, you can see. Just kind of a dirt road. We're going to go ahead and walk down through the forest. I'm hoping you can hear the birds in the background because the birds are really kind of beautiful. Look at this. I don't know what this is, but here's a beautiful white flower that's just coming into blossom. Isn't that pretty? That is real pretty. Just like the daisies, they're all, at this time of year, there are all kinds of beautiful things that come out in the forest. Here's a whole little tree of that beautiful white flower. I'm sure glad that it didn't get in the way of Tony's caterpillar. Now we're looking out across that saddle again. That's just a little bit different view, you can see. That's really kind of nice. And we're walking down the dirt road again. Go a little ways. Put a rope up across here because I don't really want people driving up there. No need. It's just a rope, so you could untie it and drive up there if you wanted to, but people in this area are really pretty thoughtful about your request or the things that you would like to have them abide by. So what we're going to do is we're going to bushwhack around this tree here instead of going under the rope. Normally I'd just jump under it, but I've got you along, so pay attention while I go through the rough country. Now we come out onto the main dirt road on my property, and if we were to go left here, up here just several hundred yards, about 100 yards to the end of my property, I guess, and beyond that is Lita and Jake, and they have a nice little cabin up there, and they're good neighbors, wonderful people to have around. And you can see how thick it is here, lots of trees. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and go the other way and go down the hill, walking patiently. If I get a chance to give you a good picture of those yellow daisies, I'll try to do that. The colors in the forest are just really special. Look over there and you can see the kind of contrast of the different greens and the late evening light. And just on the other side here, where the sun is already gone, you can see it's already quite dark in there. Thick. Good place for a cougar to hide. Take a nap. Wait for his dinner to come by. Here's another nice view to the side. You can kind of see how the sun is just starting to set and the sunlight coming through the trees. Beautiful contrast. Everything's green and natural. Big old tree next to me here. You can look out there and see where there's a big one too. This land was logged once, and I have found some big old logs that were the first time they logged it that they left, and they're really quite spectacular. Huge trees the first time they came in here. Here's one of those daisies, so let's stop for a minute and take a look at the daisies. See if we can get you in where you can get a good picture of. Aren't those pretty? You can see the wind's blowing them around a little bit, and they just come up wild. That's one of the things they do. You hear me stepping on a pine cone. And down through the trees, if you look carefully right there in the center of the picture, you can see my principal camp, where my container cabin is. And we're going to walk down that way. I'm sorry to bounce you around, but I gotta walk. And this camera isn't real easy to hold. Do the best I can. Okay, we're gonna make a quick left. If we continued down the hill, we'd get to my gate and go a little farther and we'd come to the edge of my property. There's another road down that kind of goes along the creek. You can see here where Tony started the gravel that he's going to be doing. And that's going to be real nice because it'll cut the dust and end the dirt, the mud. When it rains, it's kind of muddy. So this gravel will make things much nicer. But he's got more to do. I hope by the next time I come up it'll all be done, but we'll just have to wait and see. Alright, well, let's go up. You can see where that winter fall came down, and as I was telling you earlier, my neighbors came up real nice of them, and they knew I would be coming up and have a hard time getting through, so they actually came up, and good neighbors, they cut the tree out of the way and cut up some firewood for me. That doesn't happen much in New York City. Here's another thing that you'll see up here sometimes. This is a sign that I put up on one of the trees, and that's just to declare that it isn't public land. And of course all my neighbors are quite aware of the fact that they can wander and walk wherever they like. And I've